In today's video, we're talking about the most important thing when it comes to making a YouTube video or any short film, the story and the idea. Hey guys, what's up? It's Rigo with Grizz Media, and today we're doing episode 1 of my new series, How to Make a Great Film or YouTube Video. For those of you new to the channel, hello, my name is Rigo. I'm a photographer and videographer based on Los Angeles, California. And on this channel, we teach you all the things you need to know to better think like a filmmaker. Now, today we're going to be utilizing ChatGPT and other AI tools to help us with our storytelling. But I do want to preface that your ideas should be original always, and you shouldn't be relying on other AI tools in order to come up with your ideas. Many of the best filmmakers and creative directors in the world have their ideas come from themselves and inspiration from the outside world. While I do think that AI has its place, I don't think it should be used at every single moment of the creative process. I think that's lucrative and really takes away the soul and creativity of the user. This is the first step in creating a video or a short film, your ideas. What ideas do you have? Now, the basic element of a story is the introduction, climax, and falling action. Climax being the height of your film or short video, the thing that's going to get people to want to stay in your video, or the thing that's going to be the most captivating in the video. A lot of the times this can be shown as a plot twist, it could be shown as a huge action sequence, or it could be just what the title of the video says. It's what that title was. Let's say I was doing a video of me jumping off the pyramid. The climax of the video is me jumping off the pyramid. But how do I build a story around jumping off a pyramid? Well, let's get on to our introduction, setting up our characters and the tension of the video. For that, we're going to have to go into our creative studio. Let's go. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why am I on the couch? If you don't want to use AI and you still want to follow along, open up a Google Doc right now and follow along with the prompts I say, and pause whenever I ask a question. Rather than ChatGPT answer it, you answer yourself in that Google Doc. Now, the first thing that you want to do when you're using AI is you want to prompt it correctly. So follow me along with this prompt if you're doing this on ChatGPT. We want ChatGPT to be a consultant. We don't want it to give us directly the answer, because that's not how it works when you're being creative. You want it to help give you questions that can help you in your creative process. So remember, I had this idea of doing a video or a story about me jumping off a pyramid. So let's go ahead and tell ChatGPT to be a directing consultant. So ChatGPT, I need you to be a creative consultant. You will give me ideas and suggestions, as well as prompting questions to help me in the creative process of my videos. So in this case, pause the video right now if you don't want to use ChatGPT. But our first question is going to be, how can I turn me jumping off a pyramid into an engaging story? So let's go ahead and read what ChatGPT told us. First, a few creative directions we could take. Adventuring angle, build like an epic journey. Set up the pyramid as the final boss of your adventure, something you've been leading up to. Challenging angle, frame it as a personal challenge for yourself or something you are facing a fear, conquering limits. A mythical angle, make it feel like an ancient ritual, almost like you're tapping into the energy of historical legends. Or make it a comedy. Play it as a ridiculous idea you had. Show the over-the-top planning and dramatic stakes it takes to do something like this. So this is known as the genre of your video. So this is going to be the captivating audience you're trying to get. A lot of audiences like different things, and based on what they like, they may or may not want to click on your video or engage in your story. As a filmmaker or video creator, it's up to you to determine what audience you want to captivate. In my case, if I was to make this video, I want to captivate an audience that is also trying to face their fears. I would try to center this around me facing my fears. I personally am scared of heights. So I would base the whole video around that I'm scared of heights, and I would slowly jump through other heights before I get to the pyramid. So now that we know the type of genre we want, I'm going for the challenging angle genre. We need to find out how to storyboard this. So let's go on to the next step, storyboarding. Storyboarding is how we determine how the video is going to flow. The better the flow of your video, the better people are going to stay in the video. So here's another opportunity for you. Pause the video right now if you don't want to use ChatGPT, But go ahead and write down, how would you start off your hook? How would you start off the introduction of your video? The introduction, the exposition, how would you explain the stakes? What's going to make people want to stay? And what's going to make your audience want to root for your main character? I can't believe I'm saying this, but let's ask ChatGPT. So Chat, I want to make an introduction video storyboard. Give me some ideas as to how I can engage the audience and hook them in the beginning using the challenge angle. So you can see that Chat is giving me a bunch of scenes already as it is. Here's the basic premise. Scene 1, it wants me to start off with the hook. Quick flashes, sand blowing, your hair brushing through the side of the pyramid, your toes tingling, a high angle shot showing the massive drop. Audio heartbeats, building, voiceover, what would it take to jump off a pyramid? Immediately drop your audience into tension. They're asking what's going to happen. So that's how they want us to start this video, which I think is a pretty interesting angle. So this one is called the Forbidden Jump. This one is a wide slow motion shot circling around the pyramid, low rumbling mysterious music. They said it couldn't be done. Instantly give the jump a legendary feel, bigger for you. Close up on my face, focus, breathing deeply, the sound of the wind, heartbeat. I had one shot and everything to lose. Personalize the story. Now it's you versus the impossible. So ChatGPT is telling me, rather than focus on the climax, let's focus on the individual and how they're feeling. Personalization of your character and making them feel vulnerable is an incredible way to get audiences to engage in your character. The more realistic and more vulnerable you can make yourself or your character, the better it's going to go for you. Now we go into the rising action, which is the steps leading up to the climax. In our case, the climax is us trying to jump off the pyramid. That's the big jump. But how do we get there? We've already set up the stakes in the beginning, saying that we want to jump off this cliff. We're scared of heights. In my case, I set it up as, I want to jump off this pyramid. I'm scared of heights. Let's see how we can do it together. How you're able to transition from one story point to another. Storyboarding is not completed in the first draft. There's multiple drafts and multiple things that have to be done in order for you to have the most perfect storyboard. But you can't get there if you've never tried filming the idea to begin with. As nerve-wracking or as nervous thing it could be, it's important for you to try out all your ideas and see where they go. If it doesn't work out, then that's fine, but what can you learn from it to make the next idea better? In my case, for jumping to the pyramid, I would start off in the beginning with me trying to figure out a way to get there. The second step would be for me to explain where my fear for the heights developed and see if I could relive that experience and if I could do it right now. Along with having a big problem in your video or in your story, you also need to have a solution, because that's what people want. They want a happy ending at the end of the day. So for me, I'd be looking for different ways to manage fear. This could be from breathing. It could be from closing my eyes. It could be from me imagining something else while I'm doing the deed. These are different things that I would do in the rising action and develop those skills so that way our audience and I feel confident enough to do this jump to begin with. So what have we learned about making the video? Well, we learned that we need to plan out our beginning, our thing leading up to our climax, and the solution to our climax. Those are the 4 things that we're looking for when we're planning for our videos. But how do we come up with the actual ideas? I know I came up with the idea of a pyramid, but how do I actually come up with an idea that's cool and something I could do to make a video about? AI is really good for that too. So here are some ideas that ChatGPT came up with. Is this blank new device actually worth it after 30 days? iPhone versus Android. I used the cheapest smartphone on Amazon for a week. Best budget tech of 2025 under $50. This old laptop still beats new ones. Here's why. Some explainers and behind the scenes stuff. So that, I would say, is the most powerful tool in AI. It's idea generation. You can make a ton of ideas based on suggestions or questions that ChatGPT asks you. Because oftentimes the ideas are in our minds. We just need to look at a certain word, look at a certain question or a phrase to help us get those ideas out. And that's what I think AI is the most useful for. Use AI to make an idea happen, and then use the storyboarding method that we used in this video to help you make that video come true. Once you find the solution to your problem in your video is finished. It's fully beautifully wrapped. You made a conclusion, rising action, climax, and then you did your resolution to the climax. So the better you make your stories, the better your audience will love your videos, and the better your films are going to be. But making a good story comes with practice. So the number one tip when it comes to making a YouTube video is to pick up the camera and start recording. Hopefully this video was helpful. In the next episode, we're going to talk about camera gear and what types of cameras to use for YouTube videos and for films. If you guys liked this video and if it was helpful to you, go ahead and give it a like. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications. Let me know some of your stories in the comments below, and I'll see y'all in the next one. It's Rigo with Grizz Media signing off. Have a great day, guys.